Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to give another look at the restaurant ratings. Let's meet our members, Tommy, Jason Kusek, and Tian Yi. And we have a question that are the ratings on our platforms reliable? Ratings and reviews are under continuous scrutiny by stakeholders. The veracity of our rating is the key to drive the Yelp business. As consumers turn out to the platforms for recommendations and restaurants rely on our information on both business and continuous improvement, rating and reviews are the core to the business. So today, we're going to evaluate the consistency of our reviews and obtain useful insights about consumer behavior and our platforms. So the current scenario is that there are numerous platforms that offer ranking information. Each one has their own algorithm to detect and filter out the fake reviews. Therefore, it's undeniable that a portion of the reviews will always be fake and will impact the final rating. There are a large amount of data available from all these platforms that can be gathered through different methods, such as data scraping or buying information, or to carry out numerous analysis in virtue of our objectives. Statistical analysis tool and the machine learning algorithm allow us to test for differences, evaluate string text sentiments, and fit models to attain insights. We also have some constraints in this project. We only have less than 1 month to gather data and to do the analysis, and the budget is also limited. And we only have the access to the information that's scrapable from each site. So now, Tianyi is going to talk about the methodology.
So our methodology is to first gather data, and then we mainly concentrated on benchmarking and sentiment analysis to get our insights. Considering that each platform filters reviews differently, even though ratings can be correlated across platforms, they are still probably different, and this might give relevant insights for our filtering algorithms. For this purpose, we'll gather information from Yelp reviews and TripAdvisor. So we want to run the sentiment analysis to see if ratings are actually consistent with sentiment or not. Sentiment provides a second validation point for ratings. Then ratings could either be conditioned by bias or fake reviews. This also benchmarked across platforms will also yield consistency results. So here is our process map. We use Python to first scrape data from Yelp, but Yelp revamped their source code recently, so we have to build a new module. We also use Python to scrape data from TripAdvisor. For the sentiment analysis part, we use Python module connected to Microsoft Azure Sentiment Analysis API. And finally, we use Microsoft tools and R to do data exploration and R for data analysis and hypothesis testing. So we randomly picked 19 restaurants in the US from these different states on the right. Like mentioned earlier, we scraped reviews from both TripAdvisor and Yelp, and TripAdvisor on average has fewer ratings than Yelp. There are roughly 5,900 reviews from TripAdvisor and 9,400 reviews from Yelp for these restaurants. And now Tommy will cover more details about these ratings.
So after doing some basic descriptive analytics, we found a trend for our ratings where Yelp on average is 0.35 stars lower than TripAdvisor with a 99.99% confidence. And with a 10% significant level, we are sure about that they are lower by more than 0.32 stars. With the difference shown, we further looked into a consistency of differences between each restaurant. 95% of the sampled restaurants have a lower rating on Yelp than TripAdvisor. Carrying out the corresponding t-tests with 10% significance, the difference in their ratings is significant. And also with the 10% significant, the average difference in ratings is lower than 0.32 for Yelp versus TripAdvisor. This indicates that although ratings are different between Yelp and TripAdvisor, they are consistently lower across restaurants. And to understand why there is a steady difference of ratings between different websites, we need to conduct further hypothesis tests to understand the reasons. Main possible reasons would be the certain designs and websites, and we would have to do further experience to understand the results. So, and further, we wanted to understand the relationship between the ratings and sentiment scores. Under the hypothesis that ratings should be representative of the review's sentiment, we compared how they varied. Based on the box plot we did on ratings and sentiment, we can observe that for ratings, there are a few outliers lower than 3 stars, which is the start of our base rating. On the other hand, sentiments have numerous outliers that go all the way to 0. So one possible explanation for this is that users are lenient with ratings, generating rating bias, rarely rating less than 3 stars, even if the sentiment represents that the restaurant experience was much lower. Opposite explanation could be sentiment's bias of the review towards one aspect of the restaurant rating, which is composed of multiple parts. So in order to understand to which extent each of the biases is present, we would need to gather additional data on the decomposition of each rating. And now Cusack would furthermore present our insights based on the analysis.
Thank you, Tommy. Now, how do sentiments relate to ratings? Due to the previous results, we did not expect a high correlation. However, rating is fairly representative of sentiment. More importantly, it's more representative for Yelp than it is for its competition. This graph also compares the sentiment variation and rating variation across platforms, also showing that they're consistent across restaurants. Next, we fit a regression model that gives us some useful insights and confirmations. There's a base rating, regardless of sentiment, of 2.4 stars. Remember that previously we had estimated about 3 stars? More importantly, our model tells us that sentiment only explains 40% of the rating. To have reliable ratings, further analysis is recommended to evaluate the impact of current rating when submitting a new rating and validate if the sentiment is holistic or segmented to a limited aspect of the rating. So what did we learn? Which are our conclusions? First, benchmark rating variations are consistent across restaurants, meaning the review filtering algorithm does not impact some restaurants over others, as some allegations would indicate. Second, Yelp reflects sentiments better than the competition. However, additional research and furthering of this data gathering is recommended to make findings more robust and obtain additional insights. Finally, how can we improve? More restaurants. We only compared 19 restaurants. To be more robust, we need more. We can also do more platforms to see how we stack up against the rest of the competition. We could also use a higher budget to extend the sentiment analysis. And finally, access to additional data, such as whether a restaurant pays for ads or not, the decomposition of ratings, and the rating evolution through time. That is all for today, and we're ready for questions. Thank you very much.